Hello and welcome to Garlic shows progress of a game and provides awkward commentary on top of some random-ass electro beats, which somehow is my content niche now. Okay. This update is a shorter one again, but there are still lots of new stuff to show. We'll start with a small update on the pop-up windows. They can now have a second button, which can be disabled and grayed out in case, for example, an option should not be available. Also, it takes its own callable for easier integration. And we will use that right away, because the big update of the day is the Hot Spring administration screen. And because everyone loves a good MS Paint sketch, here's the intended layout of the management screen we are going to create today. The left side panel will hold an overview over all the upgrades of your Hot Spring. Basically, these will just be buttons that you can click that will charge some money in exchange for getting permanent buffs to certain statistics of your servants or to change customer behavior. And the right side panel will hold the management data. Basically, an info panel of how many customers are visiting each phase, the charge rates for services and other useful statistics. The panel on the bottom left will have an overview over the dorm rooms. Dorm rooms are basically a mechanic to balance out the two types of servants, because I wanted the game to differentiate between citizen servants and owned servants. Because citizen servants demand daily pay, while owned servants need shelter. So, citizens are cheap but take a cut from your income, whereas owned servants are expensive and are limited to your available dorm rooms. And last but not least, the bottom right panel will have management toggles and other interactables to trigger the management traits of servants. Also, I want to implement some kind of randomized quest system in which you get a new task to complete every in-game week in exchange for some extra rewards like items, consumables, or special events. This is actually one of my favorite mechanics in many roguelike games, as it brings some meaningful deviations to the core gameplay loop. Also, it's in the game that is basically the inspiration for my game, so I wanted to have that. Now that I think about it, I haven't talked about the backgrounds of the game yet. So, the backgrounds will be 3D renders of the Hot Spring, which I will essentially create myself. I mean, I figured that I could potentially hire an artist to create 2D backgrounds for me, but after thinking about it further, I felt like it was worth the grind to create the whole Hot Spring as a 3D model, because then I can just add and remove stuff whenever I want and can use dynamic lighting, etc. So let's start with the top left panel. I thought about how to implement it and realized that I already have a class that displays interactable icons with all the visuals, and also a class that manages the data of those upgrades and even allows interactions. So you might have guessed it, but these are just traits in disguise. They have tooltips and provide you with info on what they do, and of course you can click them and open a window prompt in which you can confirm your purchase. And in this case, you cannot, because we do not have the money yet. So let me fix that real quick and cheat some money, and there you go. The launch upgrades currently have a variety of options with different effects. As you can see, the panel is still mostly empty for now, but there will be a lot more options when the game systems are feature complete and I can put in the time to create more. But for now, those are just proof of concept, and I don't want to deal with actual content creation just yet. Oh, by the way, I discovered something I didn't know about Godot, because I was always using labels and never checked for other types to display text, and there is actually a rich text label node in Godot, and it's amazing, because you can use BB code to highlight text or display images. So yeah, I didn't know about this, and it was such a convenient discovery. Okay, let's continue on the right side. This one was pretty straightforward. I added some values to my globals and displayed them there. And I also added some arrow button controls to adjust the charged prices for entering the hot spring and services. And there's some estimation on how many customers will visit each phase. Depending on what the prices are that you set up and other pulling factors, you will get a smaller or lower estimate here. And the number of customers that arrive will deviate within a certain delta of ±1 and is actually kept at 5. So basically, this will allow you to control how many customers you get at the cost of income. In other words, demand and supply. The rejection penalty thing here plays into this, because if you get too many customers and your servants can't handle them all, then you get a penalty to your arena. Because obviously customers get pissed when they don't get what they want, so maximizing customers is not always the best idea. Also, as always, everything has tooltips already in place. Because I hate it when games don't explain their values, so I always provide context help in my games so that no questions ever arise, hopefully. Which leaves me with just the bottom 2 panels of interface remaining. But unfortunately, I didn't make those yet, so you will have to wait for the next devlog. Alright everybody, that's it. I hope you will tune back in the next time when we finish the administration screen and potentially also add the formula behind expected customers. Because currently changing the weights still does nothing. Oh, and purchasing the upgrades does not affect the gameplay variables either, so we got to add that too. So yeah, that's it for today. Just to give a quick channel update, I am currently working on the new outfit for my character, which I can hopefully show next week. So until then, I wish you the best possible week, and see you again next time. Toodles!